Hello, you guys, and welcome back to Mystical Visions. So, in today's reading, I want to take a look at the recent eclipse in Libra. So, that happened on the 14th or 15th of October, depending where you are. But yeah, eclipses are a time of massive transformation and intense transformation. They'll bring your shadows to the surface and they will push you to the next big phase of your life. So in today's video, I want to take a look at what this big intense transformation is for you and what sort of new cycles you're stepping into or who you are becoming after this eclipse. Okay, so as usual, we have 3 piles for you to pick from. Pile number 1 is represented by the 2 of Swords. Pile 2 is the Chariot. And pile number 3 is the 5 of Coins in reverse. So go ahead and pick whichever of these cards resonate with you best right now. And I have all the timestamps in the description. Of course, please remember to like and subscribe and comment if these messages resonate. But yeah, I'll go ahead and jump into pile 1. I'll see you at your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your eclipse reading. So if you picked the 2 of Swords in reverse, right away I'm hearing it's not an option anymore. So that's not vague at all. But I feel like there has been a decision that you've been avoiding making, I think. And this eclipse is telling you that avoiding making this decision is just not an option anymore. I think things are about to get very, very real for you, and whatever it is that you are procrastinating, simply not going to work anymore. But let's dive in. So the way I want to do this is we're going to have 4 cards explaining the situation, 2 cards to clarify why this is happening, 1 advice card, and then 1 card looking forward from where you are right now. Okay, so let's dive in. You have the 2 of Swords in reverse. You have the Page of Swords also in reverse. Judgment. And the 3 of Wands. So the reason I like to hold these cards up is because there's some very interesting imagery that you guys might take something from. Okay, pile number 1. I feel like you are about to move. Now that could be moving to a different country with this 3 of Wands, or just very far from home. But I feel like this is something you've been avoiding for the longest time. And I do think this has to do with fear of the unknown, more specifically. Because with the 2 of Swords in reverse, I feel like you are not... So the 2 of Swords upright usually talks about this sense of inner knowing, where this character needs to make a decision, but instead of looking at the world around them, which will only confuse them more, they look inwards and trust their intuition and their own judgment in order to make this decision. And I feel like you're at this point where you are refusing to do that. For whatever reason, sometimes we don't always mean to procrastinate things. Sometimes it's just a defense mechanism, but whatever it is, you're actively rejecting the idea of making a choice. And that to me feels like it's a product of this Page of Swords in reverse, where you're refusing to even embark on this journey. It feels like there is a smart choice to be made. Yeah, the suit of swords usually represents mental energy and, thoughts. And I feel like with the page is your first step on this journey towards mental clarity or whatever it is you're seeking. So to have this in reverse tells me that there's some sort of mental block. And this eclipse is literally causing the clouds to part. Because do you see how in this image, the clouds are literally parting and divine light is coming in? Whatever divine light may mean to you, it could just be a good idea or like a sense of understanding or inspiration. That's coming in for you. And I feel like that's the biggest intense change that's coming your way from this eclipse, because then we have the Three of Wands to end your current situation message. And do you see how she's climbing up the ladder? I just heard social climbing as well. Maybe whatever choice you are meant to make is going to bring you to a new social status. It's going to bring you to a new level of respect. I don't know if that makes sense. I think the example I'm getting is, say, going to university abroad, where, and this is something I've been through, where it can be scary. It can be a terrifying experience because it's, a whole new world out there. And as a young person, especially with the page, I feel like you're quite in quite like a young energy. Even if you're not like physically, numerically young, it feels like there's a leap you're about to take in something that you have no experience with. And this eclipse is kind of forcing your hand to making this leap because it is for your highest good. And deep down, I feel like you know this. I feel like you know that this is your path. So what I'm getting here is you need to make this decision, and even if you don't want to, you're gonna be forced to. So yeah, good luck avoiding this decision, pile number one, because that's just not an option anymore. So sorry, I'm just trying to see. Okay, we're still focused. So why is this situation happening? We have the Nine of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Coins. Yeah, I feel like this is very career oriented, where the Knight of Coins is coming in directly under the Page of Swords. The pages and knights are very young learners, right? They're very immature in terms of like the court cards. So I definitely feel like this has something to do with learning of some sort. With the Nine of Wands in reverse, I'm being drawn to look at the keywords here. Sometimes the interpretation of each card in each deck is very different, and I find it to be quite topical when I feel drawn to read from the book. So the Nine of Wands in reverse says a stalemate, stubbornness, hesitance, giving in, paranoia. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of hesitation here. And a lot of that might just be stubbornness. I don't like that word because I've been called stubborn a lot. And it is very frustrating because no one wants to be stubborn, right? But stubbornness comes out of a fear of change, a fear of like not being able to control your situation. So I feel like whatever choice you've been avoiding making, Okay, so this could go two ways. So I'm hearing two variations of this. Either you feel like your mind is too stubborn to make this decision, and so you've given up on it, and maybe that's something this eclipse is changing, or you are being pushed into this energy of stubbornness in like a good way, in like a way where no matter what happens, no matter how scared I am, I'm gonna make this decision because I'm stubborn about it. So it could go either way. It's really funny because the Knight of Coins has a bull on it. And bulls remind me of Taurus, which is fixed earth, which is like probably the most stubborn sign in the zodiac, at least in my opinion. So I feel like there's definitely an energy of stubbornness. Either you are overcoming negative stubbornness, or you're being pushed to embrace positive stubbornness, which is basically just a sense of willpower, right? So this eclipse is definitely bringing you into a new state of mind, I feel. Because both the cards, well, there's 3 cards in reverse, 2 of which are air cards, they're swords cards. So I definitely feel like your mental energy is shifting. So what's the advice for pile number 1? We, the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Maybe you feel drawn to the Egyptian mother goddess Hathor. Now, Hathor is a deity that I've worked with a lot. Ooh. Okay, wow. Sorry. So Hathor is often depicted as like cow imagery. And what did I just say about like the bull? So interesting. This could also be a sense of balance, to have like the masculine and the feminine right next to each other. But that's just a side quest for you after eclipse season, is maybe to bring your masculine and feminine energies into balance. And by that I mean the masculine energy of being analytical and structured, and the feminine energy of being a little more chaotic, a little more emotional, a little more watery. So maybe that's like a side quest for you guys. And finally, let's take a look at looking ahead. We have mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Interesting. So I wanted to flip these two together because oftentimes the oracle messages play off of each other. And there's a lot of mirror imagery. So in this card, oh, get over here. Sorry, nails. In this card, we have like a side-by-side mirror. Here we have up and down mirror. Maybe this situation is mirroring something else that has happened in your life, or a cycle that keeps going. Here as well, there's like a bit of mirror imagery with these 2 swords. Interesting. A lot of symmetry. So maybe this... Okay, so maybe look back at your life and think about times where this energy has been mirrored. In that, think about where in your life you've had to make a decision that you've procrastinated until you physically couldn't anymore and your hand was forced. Are there any lessons? Are there any fears you can uncover from those situations? Who or what is triggering you? And triggers to me often, well, to everyone really, often talk about past experiences that have left a deep emotional wound that are triggered because you've been through like a similar experience again. And so maybe look back at a situation, look back on your life. I love doing this, by the way. Just sit, meditate, think back to a time where you feel you were put in a very similar situation as you are in right now. And if you can't like actively think of it, just sit down, ask your subconscious to bring this to your mind, and it will come to you, I promise. So maybe that's the cause of that procrastination. Like I said, we don't always want to procrastinate. We don't always want to be stubborn. It's simply a defense mechanism that's keeping us from perceived danger. It doesn't have to be actual danger, but to our minds, real and imagined really don't look very different. So that, again, is so interesting because only one of these two images is the real world and the other is a reflection, but you literally can't tell. The cards just speak for themselves. But yeah, pile one, I feel like there is something in your past that is causing you to react in this very indecisive, procrastinatory way. And I feel like this eclipse is encouraging you to look back and, you know, see where you've had to try and work through a similar situation in the past and you've maybe avoided it and refused to make a decision, and now your hand is being forced because you have to learn how to step up and make these difficult decisions. So interesting. So pile number one, that's your reading for this eclipse season. That's the change that's coming your way, is this heavy decision that you're being forced to make. So I really hope it comes to you why you feel this way. And I really hope whatever decision you need to make goes by smoothly. I'm sure it will. I hope you find the strength to make it though. But yeah, pile number one, that's your reading. If it resonated and you found it helpful, please do remember to like and comment below. Subscribe to my channel for more readings. I'll have another reading linked in the outro, so check that out if you'd like. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me. Thank you for letting me read for you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye! Pile number two, welcome to your reading about what intense changes this last eclipse in Libra is bringing you. So if you chose the Chariot, this is your reading. So things are speeding up for you, pile number two, especially when it comes to something to do with your home or your deep emotions, or maybe a relationship with a maternal figure in your life. Things are speeding up because the Chariot is Cancerian energy. And that to me definitely feels, yeah, the cards are back, you guys. So, which is funny because Chariots were the cards of the heyday. Okay, so yeah, I feel like your life has been very gentle, kind of like the ocean on a calm day. And with this eclipse, you may have noticed that things are starting to really pick up the pace. But I'm curious about what this is going to be. So the way I've laid out these cards is these 4 cards up here are going to tell us your situation and what the actual change is that this eclipse is bringing you. These 2 cards down here are going to tell us why these changes are coming your way. This card is going to give us some advice that will help you out through this transition. And this final oracle card is going to tell us what you have to look forward to. Okay, so let's dive in. What is the big change coming your way? So we have the 8 of Cups. Don't walk away yet. I feel like you've been in the energy of maybe not seeing any change, not seeing any results, and you're about ready to give up, but the message is things are going to pick up speed. Pile number 2, so don't walk away quite yet. A little more patience is what I'm hearing. The reason I giggle is patience is not my strongest not my strongest suit. So maybe you're eating a sweet right now. If you are, can you send some my way? I have a massive sweet tooth. But yeah, whatever you're going through right now, it may feel slow, it may feel so dull and like soul crushing is what I just heard. Now that might be a little dramatic, but hey, if it works, it works. But don't walk away quite yet, because change is coming. We have the King of Cups. There's a lot of water energy here, pile number 2. So maybe this has to do with emotions. Maybe there is a relationship of some sort. Maybe a relationship with a maternal figure. That could be, your actual mum, or it could be someone in your life that plays that role either for you or alongside you, And with the King of Cups, there is definitely a very strong sense of emotional sovereignty, I'm hearing. Do you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of like the whole Britney Spears conservatorship debacle, where she felt this sense of she didn't have any say over what she did or said in the public eye. But this to me feels like that kind of energy, but emotionally, maybe you feel a sense of, I can't control my own emotions. I have no power over my own feelings. And maybe that's changing. That's interesting, pile number 2. Yeah, there's definitely a sense of emotional maturity or emotional sovereignty coming your way with this eclipse season. And we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. We have the King and the Queen, but the Queen is in reverse. Okay. So with the Queen of Cups, I'm getting like 2 separate messages. So take what resonates and leave the other for someone else. So the first is the literal imagery for the Queen of Cups. She's the only figure in the suit of cups where you see her cup is covered. And that usually talks about a sense of control over her emotions. And so to have it in reverse might talk about you finally allowing those emotions to flow. You finally tipping that cup and letting things out. So that's one interpretation I'm getting. The other is more what the Queen of Cups symbolizes. The queens are usually water energy, and the Queen of Cups is double water because cups are water, right? So to have this in reverse maybe talks about you not being quite as emotionally volatile, because water and water together, it feels a little nuts, a little draining. And the reason I say that is because I'm a triple fire sign, so a double water for me is a bit much. So maybe you're like me, maybe too much emotion makes you very uncomfortable, or very, it makes you feel like you're losing control of a situation. So maybe you're stepping into this King of Cups energy instead, where the kings are said to be the symbol for kings is earth, right? The element of the kings is the earth. And so the King of Cups is a slightly more grounded emotional state. Maybe you've been struggling with emotional volatility within yourself or within someone else. Or maybe you've been stuck in a cycle of, constantly shifting emotions. Or maybe, you feel like you're drowning in these emotions. You're almost wallowing. That's the word that's coming to me. And it feels like you're trying to take control of it, but it's not working out. And you almost want to give up and just give in. And, sometimes it can be helpful to give in to your emotions. But in this case, it feels a little toxic, a little depleting. Maybe you're in a dynamic where you are constantly doing the emotional labor for everyone involved. And maybe that's exhausting and you're about ready to be done with it. And maybe this eclipse is telling you to hang on, things are changing. Maybe there's a level of groundedness you need to bring to the situation, or that is being brought into the situation via the eclipse. Fascinating. Okay, so let's look at why this is happening. We have Judgment. Interesting. This card came out in a different pile as well, but with a very different position and interpretation. Judgment is definitely divine intervention. Whatever the situation is, it's not going to be a practical or human change that brings about this grounding for you. It's definitely something unexplainable. Maybe the person that's pushing you into doing all this emotional labor will have a, come to Jesus moment. Maybe they will have a big upheaval, or maybe you will have a big upheaval. Maybe the clouds will part and you'll see the light. But it definitely feels like non-human intervention that's coming your way, that is creating all this change and creating it fast as well. For this to come under the Chariot, it definitely feels like there is a light coming your way, but it's not anyone's doing in particular. It's definitely... It might feel like it came out of nowhere, but I'm hearing your spirit team is definitely behind this. That's beautiful. And we have the Ace of Cups. Oh, pile 2. This is why you've been advised to not walk away quite yet from the situation, because a new emotional beginning is coming your way. And you see how the hand pouring into the cup is usually symbolic of the divine, of the universe, or God, or source, or whatever you believe in, coming in and filling your cup for you. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, pile 2. Don't force anything. Yeah, don't force a change into your life, because it's gonna come in its own time. And this is literally a reading so full of water. Water also talks about the intangible or the divine. Think Scorpio energy, right? Or Piscean energy, where it is ethereal. It's like not of this world. I feel like whatever change is coming your way is very divinely guided and not quite something that you have to work towards. It feels more like I know a lot of the times when we're not able to control things, we kind of blame ourselves. We try to do all this unnecessary shadow work, which is essentially just our brains ruminating over things and wondering if we could have done things differently. It's humans doing human things. But for this situation, you don't need to do any shadow work. You don't need to do any inner work. It is simply about divine timing. That's the other meaning that the judgment card holds for me. Sorry, stumbled on my words there. So don't push anything. Don't force an outcome. Don't walk away quite yet. At least not if, things are truly abstract. But let's take a look at your actual advice as well. So we have, I'm sorry, defenselessness, writing past wrongs, uprooting. That is interesting. I don't know if the camera's focusing, but I do feel there's an apology coming your way. Maybe people are recognizing the things you've done and how they haven't been reciprocated. Because with this card, with the imagery here, there's a lot of messages about mirroring today. But yeah, with this imagery here, it definitely feels like someone is recognizing your work and also reciprocating finally. So your advice is probably to wait it out because this is definitely coming your way. And the other one is the Ho'oponopono meditation. It's basically just going inwards and repeating the 4 sentences. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And the philosophy behind it is when you want to heal the world around you, because the world around you is simply a reflection of who you are on the inside, saying these 4 things to that part of you that is wounded, that is being reflected in someone else, saying these 4 things will heal that part inside you, which will then reflect in a healed world around you. And it's a very powerful philosophy. I found that every time I've done it, it's just really truly worked out. And maybe that will lead to this divine intervention, because let me tell you, every time I do that Ho'oponopono meditation, it works like nothing else I've ever tried. It magically things will just sort themselves out. And it's a little spooky, I'm not going to lie to you, just how quickly things will change. But maybe try it. Maybe look at the situation that you're in and try and see which wound might be triggered by this. So instead of trying to force other people to give you what you're giving them, maybe it's more about understanding that for you to have these needs is not a crazy thing. It's not too much to ask for. And maybe you will have a sense of worthiness to receive the things that you are giving to this situation or to these people. And maybe that will bring about the change, because we teach the world how they should be treating us. And the only way to do that is by treating ourselves right. Oh, that's funny, because all day today, I've been hearing the song Treat Me by Chloe. I'll leave a link down in the description if I can remember. But if not, it's Chloe, who is Halle Bailey's sister. It's a beautiful song, Treat Me. And it's all about self-love and asking people or a person to treat yourself the way you treat yourself when you treat yourself really, really well. And maybe that song might be healing for you. I know it was for me when I first heard it. But looking forward, align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? Yeah, that was definitely out of focus. Sorry about that. Yeah, looking forward, maybe it's time to reprioritize. Pile number 2. What is it in your life that isn't serving your highest good, is not serving your true happiness? Whatever it is that is in your way needs to go. But I'm very strongly hearing that is for future you to think about. At the moment, do nothing. Be still. Maybe do a little bit of inner healing, but not like anything too intense. No crazy amount of shadow work or anything. Things will sort themselves out, and then you can think about realigning. So that's your message for what the eclipse is bringing you, pile number 2. I really hope it resonated and brought you some healing. And if it did, please remember to like and comment below, letting me know what you took away from this reading. Subscribe to my channel for more readings. And I'll see you guys. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, for sharing your time and energy with me. I really hope it helped. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading on what intense change this solar eclipse in Libra is bringing you. So if you picked the 5 of coins in reverse, then this is your reading. And straight away, I'm going to tell you now, your energy feels so vibrant to me, pile 3. The second I started to kind of connect to you, I felt, my body vibrating. I felt like my heart was going a million miles a minute, but not in like an anxiety way, more in like an excitement way. I feel like something big is about to happen or has just happened for you, and you are so excited to a point where I felt the need to ground. So pile number 3, if you're losing your mind a little bit from all the excitement, definitely do a little bit of grounding practice. But the good news thing makes a lot of sense because we have the 5 of coins in reverse. The 5 of coins upright talks about being left out in the cold and feeling like, you are lost and nothing is going your way. So to have it in reverse is quite the opposite. It feels like you're finally being provided for. You're finally being recognized. You're finally being seen for who you are and for what you deserve, really. It feels like the sun kind of energy. That's what I'm feeling for you, pile number 3. So very exciting. All right, so the way I'm structuring this reading is these 4 are going to be our message cards on what big change is coming your way. These 2 cards are going to tell us why this change is coming your way. This oracle card will give us a bit of advice for you, and this one will tell us what you have to look forward to. All right, let's dive in. I'm so okay, I'm going to be honest, it's quite late because I tend to film these quite late at night when it's quiet. And I was a little exhausted after the last couple of piles, but this one has just perked me right up. It feels like I took 10 shots of caffeine right to my head. So let's go. Our second card is the 7 of Cups. Now, this card usually talks about illusions or, things that seem too good to be true. But in this case, it's feeling almost like you're seeing your fantasies come to life. I'm hearing signs follow. So you might notice that you've set an intention to manifest something, and then all of a sudden, the exact thing you want to manifest is crossing your path time and time again. Say now you want a specific car. Suddenly the entire street feels populated by that exact car in that exact color. And I'm hearing signs follow, pile 3. And in fact, you'll find that maybe what you want, someone in your inner circle happens to receive. Now, you could take this either way. You could maybe look at it and be like, why does this person get it and I don't? But I personally like to look at it in a sense of the universe kind of confirming, oh, is this definitely what you want? I'm going to shove it right in your face. And if this is good, then I'll bring you your own. And once it gets into your inner circle, that usually means it is on its way, baby. It is coming for you. And I feel like that's kind of what you're seeing right now, where you suddenly realize, oh, all my desires are actually being fulfilled. And I can like physically see it with my physical eyes. So the next card we have is the Seven of Wands. Yeah, this is going to involve a little bit of work from you, Pile 3, but I feel like with how vibrant your energy is and how active, do you have Aries placements? Because this definitely feels like Aries energy. Like 9 a.m., I'm ready to go. Don't need nothing. I'm here to play, I'm here to have fun. I'm here to put the work in because I'm not afraid of doing the work. And it feels like that kind of energy. And we have 2 sevens, which is so interesting. 7 is the number of Libra, isn't it? Wow. Okay, so that's working out. And the next card we have for your message is the Ace of Wands in reverse. Interesting. So the Ace of Wands upright usually talks about divine inspiration. So to have it in reverse could sometimes indicate that you don't have any inspiration. But I'm going to be honest, pile number 3, it feels like you really don't need it. It feels like that's why it's here in reverse, is to show you like, hey, bro, we as in the universe, don't even need to step in. You've got it. You know, you're doing exactly what you need to do. You don't need anyone to push you to go and get what you want. So the divine is maybe not providing inspiration anymore because you're past that phase, but it almost feels like they're bringing it into fruition. I feel like when you manifest something, there's stages to it. Like initially you need the inspiration to ask for something, and then you do the hard work, and then you start to see the signs, and then it comes in. And I feel like you are past the inspiration stage. I feel like you're in the stage between doing the work and starting to see the signs. But in either case, it definitely feels like you are finally seeing something happen for you, Pile 3, and that is very, very exciting. And that's probably why I felt that like sudden burst of energy. Do you know what it felt like? It felt like when you first slice an orange and that citric smell like hits you and it makes you feel so alive just instantly. That's kind of what it felt like. It was like a burst of orange. So, oh, that's lovely. This eclipse is definitely stepping up your manifestation game. And it's bringing you to like stage 2.5 out of 4. So very exciting. So let's look at these cards, which are going to tell us why this change is happening. We have the 8 of Coins. And we have the 8 of Swords. Oh, this is so interesting because we had 2 sevens and then we had 2 8s. It definitely makes me think of forward movement. But with the 8 of Coins and the 8 of Swords, first of all, 8 is the number of abundance. So let's get that out of the way straight away. But the 8 of Coins talks, again, it's similar energy to 7 of Wands, of putting in all this hard work to a point where it's like being a little obsessive about work, being a little like overcommitted, And maybe like it's coming right under that 5 of coins. Maybe you've been in an energy of working so hard and not being recognized for it at all. And maybe that pushed you into a shell, into almost like a defeatist mentality of, what's the point? You know, I'm doing all this work, I'm seeing no results. Or maybe the results are not doing anything for me. Maybe they are actively hurting me. And maybe you've built this kind of shell around you. And I feel like with the eclipse, it's almost like, okay, so interesting. It feels like, do you see the wands or the nails or whatever in this card? And the swords in this one? It almost feels like mirroring, where this is kind of what the energy you were in, and this is the energy you're stepping into, where you're starting to break out of this kind of barrier you've built for yourself. Maybe the eclipse is kind of pushing you to stop for a moment. Oh, there's a bug. How interesting. There's a jumpy bug. So maybe you're very jumpy. But maybe you're being pushed into an energy of stop working so hard and start to look around you, because this work has been producing results this whole time and you haven't even noticed. And so take a look around, Pile 3, because things are already in motion for you. You just haven't recognized it quite yet. It's time to step out of this grind mindset, and look at how far you've come. Start to recognize your blessings. Start to recognize the signs that are coming your way, that what you want is coming your way. So let's take a look at your advice oracle card. The 7 Star Sisters, birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression. It's beautiful. Again, another 7. 7 is the number of transformation, right? It is the number of new beginning, but in this case, it definitely feels like changing your mindset, in the sense of all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, like that kind of thing, of you realizing that maybe working hard and pushing myself to a breaking point is not the only way to achieve what I want. I can literally just sit down and ask and I will receive. That is so interesting. Birthing creations, definitely, yeah, you're manifesting like a really powerful magnet, pile number 3. This eclipse has definitely shifted something so deeply inside you. It almost feels like a DNA activation type deal, where something inside you, your core, has shifted, and suddenly you're starting to see the wonder that's around you. You're starting to see colors more vividly. The sounds are a lot more loud, and, you know, things feel so much more intense. It's like all your senses are on fire. That would make sense. Maybe that's why I was feeling that, you know, that vibrance at the beginning. It feels like you're coming alive, pile number 3, and that's such a beautiful thing to witness. Okay, this might trigger some people, so quick trigger warning. But you might have gone through a long depression. You might have gone through some very numb, very dark days. And I feel like you finally got to a stage where out of nowhere, things are switching up, where suddenly you're feeling life around you. You're seeing how alive everything is, how beautiful everything is, how everything has a soul and expression. Expression. It says expression here. Yeah, you're seeing life again after what feels like such a long time. Oh, pile 3, I'm so happy for you. Yeah, your advice is definitely to stop it. Look around. Look around you. There's so much. There's so much out there. And for once, you're finally able to see it. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so let's take a look at your final cards for what you have to look forward to. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Yeah, do you see how it goes from like this dark, dull, scary place into this very vibrant, colorful, happy step? Oh my goodness. I did not look at these cards at all until like now. I'm looking at them with you. So interesting. Also, you might have a crown chakra activation because there's a lot of purple here. And 7s are the 7th chakra, which is your crown. So you might have a lot of crown chakra activations. You might feel like a lot of buzzing at the top of your head. Just allow it. Just picture your crown, your skull kind of opening up to let all this energy in, to let these like upgrades in. That's what it is. It's an energy upgrade. Allow it, pile 3. Stop working so hard and forcing yourself to make this change. Just like look around you. It's everywhere. Everything you want is right there. It's just about acknowledging it and allowing it into your life. Oh, it's beautiful, pile 3. I'm so happy for you. That's your message for what this eclipse is bringing you. It is bringing you to life. So I really hope this resonated and it brought you a bit of clarity and support, pile 3. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. It's put me in such a wonderful mood. So I can only imagine how happy you are right now. But yeah, thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this resonated, please remember to like and comment and let me know. And subscribe to my channel for more readings. There'll be another reading that you might enjoy in the outro just after this. So yeah, come say hi on Instagram. And thanks so much for spending some time with me. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.